This is it. We are in the last gasp of Woodstock 50. Like, this is it. It's been a couple of days. It's Friday. The last we talked about this, Woodstock was denied a permit for a third time on Tuesday. Their response was not, we're going to cancel and do the mature thing here and move on. Their response was, we're going to reapply for the permit first thing tomorrow morning. We hadn't heard peep from anybody about anything until today. And what we did hear was they did reapply Wednesday morning for a permit to hold the Woodstock Festival at Vernon Downs. I mean, it's hard not to laugh at this thing at this point. I mean, it's really, really pretty ridiculous. But Vernon Town Attorney Vincent Rossi said, Rossi, to in Vernon, you are nothing but a town attorney. I'm going to keep doing that because I love Goodfellas so much. Get your own Woodstock Festival. We certainly are going to do everything we can to have it no later than Monday, Rossi said about a final decision on Woodstock. There are a lot of pieces to this. So they said that maybe today, doubt it, probably Monday, they'll have a decision to make on whether or not they're going to actually allow this to happen. Now, since that sort of passed, Virgin Produced, who was going to be the production end of Woodstock 50, I don't know which partner this was now, 2 or 3 as far as production goes, but they have since pulled out, saying that there's no feasible way to pull this off. So everybody and their mother knows that there's no way that this thing is really legitimately going to happen, except for the Woodstock Festival organizers that to continue to push on. And you might be thinking to yourself, and what is wrong with these guys? Why are they so psychotic? Well, the thing is that we keep kind of forgetting, because of the embarrassment of this thing overall, is that they're on the hook for a good 17, 20, $25 million. Like, the talent's been paid, right? They have to show up. I keep saying that. But if they don't show up, if there's no ticket that goes on sale, if there's no sponsorship sold, if there's no revenue brought in, somebody's going to have to make up that money. And is Dentsu going to just flat out take the loss on that? I highly doubt it. I foresee a very large and very long legal battle where some people could be losing a lot of things here. That can get a little bit tricky. Now, maybe Dentsu will just flat out take this loss. I don't know. But I think one of the many reasons why, outside of pride and the fact that such a cultural event as Woodstock 69 deserves the proper respect of a 50th anniversary, you do have a lot of money at play here. A lot of money at play. And it's been paid out by investors, but who knows what kind of guarantees were put in place or what those contracts or agreements were, and who's going to have to own up for that money. Oneida County Sheriff Robert Macchiol said in a statement, I'm not surprised that Woodstock 50 has reapplied for a third time in yet another attempt to hold this event in Vernon. The very serious public safety concerns I had on Wednesday are still the same ones I have today. Nothing has changed that would make me feel otherwise. With only 29 days until the event, there is no practical or logistical possibility that this event could occur without significant risk to public safety. Rossi said that Woodstock 50 submitted an application on the morning of July 12th and then again this Wednesday. Thursday afternoon, he was waiting to confirm with Woodstock 50 that the July 17th application superseded the July 12th application. Woodstock 50's first 2 permit applications were rejected because town officials said they were incomplete and late. They are now going for a Part 18 permit from the State Department of Health. On Wednesday, the department spokesperson said Woodstock 50 supplied the department with the responses as the process is ongoing. A Part 18 permit is required for any scheduled or advertised event open to the public and likely to attract 5,000 or more people at any one time, and specifies logistical details to ensure the safety of attendees. It can only be approved if the applicant complies with the local ordinances, according to the department. Again, if something terrible were to happen and you need to rush a bunch of people to, these are all plans that need to be put in place that they do not have in place. Here's what's interesting about the financial backing of Woodstock at this point, which they still have to a degree from what we can tell. When they applied for the permit the last time, Basically, they told the town of Vernon, please don't deny this, because if you do, we may lose our financial backing. Actually, the language was, and I'm, just putting my own words to this here. The language was, we will probably lose our financial backing if you deny us. And of course, now we know they were denied. Nobody's released a statement whether or not their financial backers have pulled out now, but I mean, everybody else practically has. This is the Oppenheimer and Company brokerage and investment bank at this point. Now, the Woodstock people they're not totally crazy. Michael Lang did say that the town of Vernon did waive some of the application process for a Bruce Springsteen show that was well over the 5,000 people. So they're not without precedent that this has happened before. But just some of the things that they're worried about. The town of Vernon. The legend of the site plan showing the Vernon Downs layout was illegible. There is no representation where pedestrian walking paths would be. While there is a reference to Woodstock 50 security perimeter, there is no designation for where that would be. Portions of the proposal are marked with the word draft, or specifically says a plan is, quote, still in production or still to be determined. Evacuation routes and fire lanes are described as tentative and still in development. I mean, and it goes on and on and on. I don't know why they don't just move this to a stadium. By the way, we've been yelling about that for quite some time. We checked into it. There are 2 that are available in the New York area at the time. Meadowlands is out. New Era Field up in Buffalo, where the Buffalo Bills play, which can hold an awful lot of people. That is available on that weekend. The Buffalo Bills are not playing a preseason game at home on that weekend. So Buffalo and their stadium, New Era Field, is available. The other one that is available, highly unlikely. Yanks are in town. The Mets are not. They're on the road. And then they have a day off on the Tuesday, I believe, and they don't get back in action until Monday or Wednesday or whatever it was. But there was a day in between the weekend. So Tuesday, I think they play again. They have off on the Monday. You can do it at Citi Field. Citi Field is open on the 16th, 17th, and 18th. So you could do it there. Certainly New York City has the wherewithal to handle large crowds coming in and out. Certainly Buffalo can do the same, especially if you were able to scale this thing down. Obviously, you can stage it there. Both of those venues have had concerts before. I don't know why they don't just do it at those locations. I mean, if I were them, I would have given up on this Vernon Downs thing. I wouldn't have gone for Vernon Downs in the first place. As soon as we lost Watkins Glen, I would have been like, you know what? Let's just put it where we know a concert can be held. We know a place like Buffalo can handle 65,000 people, 60,000, 50,000, whatever they're going to pare it down to now. As far as the permit process goes for those areas, I mean, I couldn't even imagine what it's like to pull off an event in Citi Fields. I mean, I would think it's damn near impossible. You have New York State, New York City involved. It's in a public park, so the Parks Department is involved. I don't know if that is all plausible. And the same thing goes for Buffalo. I don't know what any of their regulations are, but the fact of the matter is they really blew it and blew it hard on this one. And it's laughable that they went ahead and actually put these applications back in on Wednesday. It's laughable. But the town of Vernon has an application and they have to respond. So a response can come Monday, probably later on the day. We'll be here to talk about it. If not Monday at some point, then on Tuesday. But we anticipate the cancellation of Woodstock 50 finally by next week. If that doesn't happen, I would be amazed. And we're also going to tie this into a special guest that's going to talk about sort of the festival game today, Woodstock Fire Festival. We've got that all lined up. We're just kind of just waiting for this actual cancellation statement to come. And once that happens, we'll have our guest on who can shed some light, give us some insight into this whole process and why they have dragged this on as long as they have, and where we sit moving forward in the future.